When you first think of a gorilla, you might imagine a towering creature, but as it turns out, adult male gorillas, often called silverbacks, stand around 1.7 meters or 5.5 feet tall. This is on all fours, of course. They would tower over us if they decided to stand on their hind legs. In addition, they can weigh anywhere between 300 to 485 pounds, or 136 to 220 kilos when in the wild. That's like carrying around 3 to 4 average-sized humans. On the other hand, the adult females are slightly smaller, standing at around 1.5 meters or roughly 5 feet tall and weighing between 155 to 200 pounds or 70 to 90 kilos. So, while they might not nearly be as tall, they're undoubtedly impressive in stature. Now, you might be asking, where exactly do gorillas live? Well, just imagine yourself immersed in a dense, lush tropical forest, where the air is thick with the scent of greenery and the distant calls of wildlife. This is the home of the gorilla. Specifically, you'd find them in countries like Uganda, Rwanda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. In the heart of these countries lie forests like the Congo Basin. Filled with an abundance of food, these forests are their sanctuaries, playgrounds, and dining rooms. When you first look at this giant, you might imagine a voracious carnivore, right? But gorillas are the gentle vegetarians of the jungle and are very selective foragers. They only eat parts of vegetation, making them quite the picky eaters. For example, they may eat only a particular plant's leaves, pith, stalk, or roots. They use their agile lips and hand dexterity to manipulate the vegetation for the portion they want to consume. Seems like we have more in common with them than just genes. However, there is variability between the types of gorillas and what they eat. If you ever spot a Western gorilla munching away, you'll likely see them enjoying a fruit or two, as they have an appetite for a fruit-rich diet. In places like Sangadandoki near Cameroon, Congo, and Central African Republic borders, gorillas wade into swamps to eat aquatic plants. Now, you might wonder, with such a hefty physique, do they spend all day eating? No, not quite. Gorillas have a rather laid-back lifestyle. They spend a significant chunk of their day foraging, but also love their rest. After a good meal, they often take it easy, traveling only short distances between their feeding bouts. It's a balanced mix of eat, move, rest, and repeat. No intense hunting sprees for these gentle giants. They're all about that peaceful, easygoing life. But does this life stay peaceful even when humans are around? With their imposing size and strength, you might think of them as the fierce kings of the jungle from movies and tales, but in reality, they're more like gentle philosophers, pondering life amidst the trees. Contrary to popular belief, gorillas are usually calm and lead a peaceful social life. Those dramatic scenes of gorillas roaring and beating their chests, they're rare and typically only occur when gorillas feel threatened or need to assert dominance. In fact, they're more likely to be curious and watchful, especially when encountering something unfamiliar, like a human. However, this doesn't mean you should plan a casual visit to their territory. Gorillas aren't used to frequent human interaction in the wild, and sudden encounters can be stressful for them. The relationship between humans and gorillas has evolved over time. In the past, these majestic creatures were little understood and often feared, but our perception has shifted thanks to the pioneering work of primatologists like Dian Fossey. Fossey, one of the most prominent figures in gorilla research, spent years studying mountain gorillas in Africa. Her findings? Gorillas are not the aggressive animals they were once thought to be. Instead, they have complex social structures, deep familial bonds, and a peaceful demeanor. However, it's essential to note that while gorillas are gentle, they're also protective, especially the silverbacks, the leaders of the gorilla groups. If they persist, this could include chest beating, loud vocalizations, or even short rushes. It's their way of saying, "This is my family, and I'll protect them." And when it comes to family, gorillas are quite traditional. Their social structure is built around stable family groups, often led by one dominant silverback male. This silverback is the main man, the protector, and often the sole mate for the females in his group. But he's not just a leader, he's a father, a guardian, and a mentor to the young ones. Within these family groups, you'll find a mix of members: females, infants, juveniles, and sometimes even young adult males. But how do these families grow? When ready to mate, adult females often join a new group from outside. This ensures genetic diversity and prevents inbreeding. Once they've joined a group, they'll mate with the dominant silverback. After a gestation period similar to humans, about 8.5 months, a baby gorilla is born. These infants are incredibly dependent on their mothers, clinging to them for warmth, protection, and nourishment. It's a bond that's both heartwarming and vital for the infant's survival. As the young gorillas grow, they learn the ways of the forest from their family. From foraging techniques to social interactions, the young ones are constantly observing, learning, and mimicking. It's a communal effort, with older siblings, aunts, and even the dominant silverback playing a role in their upbringing. Reproduction in gorillas is not just about continuing the species. It's about strengthening social bonds, passing down knowledge, and ensuring the next generation's survival. Sadly, without protection of their habitat, this may all be lost in the future. Why? Despite their strength and majesty, gorillas face several challenges in the wild, many of which are, unfortunately, man-made. We as a species have impacted them. Poaching, habitat destruction, and climate change have posed significant threats to gorilla populations. While some of these threats are direct, like hunting, others are indirect consequences of human actions, such as deforestation and civil unrest in regions where gorillas live. These gentle giants are under significant threat, with a population ranging between 100,000 to 200,000. Currently, only about 17% of the gorilla population resides in protected regions. This means a vast majority of their natural habitat is under constant threat. Forests, which are their homes, are being cleared at alarming rates for various human activities, such as subsistence farming, logging, and road building. The loss of these habitats not only displaces gorilla populations, but also fragments them, making it harder for them to find food, mate, and avoid predators. But habitat destruction isn't the only threat they face. The commercial trade in bushmeat, prevalent throughout West and Central Africa, poses a significant danger to gorillas. Due to their size, gorillas are often targeted by hunters as they provide a substantial amount of meat. While they might constitute a small proportion of all animals hunted for bushmeat, their slow reproductive rates means that even minimal hunting can lead to significant population declines. Efforts to protect these magnificent creatures often face challenges: weak law enforcement, lack of rule of law, and civil unrest in many regions where gorillas reside make conservation efforts difficult. However, there's a glimmer of hope. Organizations like the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, are tirelessly working to protect gorillas and their habitats. Thanks to such efforts, new protected areas are being designated for some gorilla populations. A testament to these efforts is the population of mountain gorillas, which has seen an increase in recent years, leading to its downlisting from critically endangered to endangered in November 2018.